Today on Talk Fulton, millions of dollars are allocated for Fulton's Justice Reinvestment Initiative. We'll hear from Fulton's Chief Strategy Officer on how the money will be used. And Fulton County Commissioners approve a plan addressing juvenile crime. We'll explain how. I'm Shaunya Chavis-Rucker, and Talk Fulton starts right now. Welcome to Talk Fulton. We're talking today about the millions of dollars approved by the Fulton County Board of Commissioners in support of the Justice Reinvestment Initiatives. Now, the multi-pronged program is aimed at reducing the population at the Fulton County Jail, improving behavioral health care for inmates, and moving cases more quickly through the courts. Anna Roach is Fulton's Chief Strategy Officer and has been instrumental in this process. Anna, welcome back to Talk Fulton.
Great to be here.
So first things first, paint the broad picture for us of what the Justice Reinvestment Initiative plan is and explain how it really came to be.
Wow, Shaunya. Well, Fulton County is on a journey to implement a strategic plan that has 6 strategic initiatives. And we have lots of priorities within them, and we have lots of things that we're going to try to achieve between now and the end of the plan cycle in 2019. But I have to tell you, the Justice Reinvestment Initiative is one of my favorite and one of the ones that I think that are going to be most significant. And the reason why is because there is a national conversation about justice reform, and Fulton County really is at the forefront of it. We don't want to be left out of it. And so we are speaking with our dollars, we are speaking with our actions, and we're taking really, really bold steps to reform our criminal justice system. One of the things that we are making a huge investment in is working down the backlog of criminal cases in our Superior Court. And so you'll see more initiatives like that. It is a program that is designed to do many, many different things. We would like to move cases quickly through our system. We would like to make an impact on the jail population while we do so. We also want to make sure that we address mental illness within our criminal justice system. And we also want to improve efficiencies as well. So there are lots of things we're trying to achieve with this, and I'm very excited we're on that road.
And you mentioned that there's some multiple partners involved in this entire process, right? Tell us who they are.
Sure, absolutely. And one of the keys to success of this initiative is that we all work together as partners in Fulton County. But the key players that are at the table are what we call the Justice Coordinating Committee. And it is a governing body that basically administers the funds that are awarded to us by the Fulton County Board of Commissioners. And that Justice Coordinating Committee includes the Chief Judge of the Superior Court, the Chief Magistrate of the Magistrate Court, our Chief Judge of the State Court. It also includes other key players like the District Attorney, our Sheriff, the clerk for the Superior and Magistrate Courts, as well as the clerk for the State Court, and all of the partners that impact and are a part of that system. We've also got the Juvenile Court Chief Judge as well, and the court administrators for all 3 of our courts. So it really is a table full of all of the folks who influence that process, and we're hoping that this collaboration is really going to make a difference.
So following, I think, the 2016 launch, there were a number of actions taken to even get us this far. You mentioned that Justice Coordinating Committee. This committee, let's talk about some of those things. They adopted a charter and established a process for tracking progress on the system. They instituted a project management system to report on each initiative, and they created a website to publicize progress and achievements, and that's just naming a few things. That was already quite a lot of progress.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I think we came a long way since 2016 when we first got started. If you recall, we started with some professional services support to help us pull the plan together. And so we didn't really have our feet on the ground until around August of 2016. And so we have been working since then to implement the plan that we had before us. So yes, we did take a lot of those steps, and we want to make sure we continue strong through 2017.
And not only the steps that I just mentioned, but the initiative also accomplished a few other things, including I understand the clerk of superior and magistrate court teams were able to reconcile more than 14,000 conflicting attorney bar numbers during the attorney merge project. State court and the juvenile court increased participation in their accountability courts between 25 and 30%. The Solicitor General back then was able to eliminate over 70% of her backlog cases. Superior Court, working with some of the other justice agencies, they cleared some 80 cases from a backlog of over 200 felony cases. So Fulton County itself is really set up to have a great year in 2017, thanks to all of the work that was done in 2016.
Absolutely, and we are continuing a few of the initiatives that were kicked off in 2016 because we had some great outcomes, much like the ones that you described there. So we're going to continue those, but also implement some new ones as well.
So now let's talk about what the board approved in terms of dollars in January in support of the 2017 Justice Reinvestment Initiative. Help me understand. I think that overall, what, $7,464,000 or something like that? Explain all of this.
Sure. So the $7.4 million was allocated by the Board of Commissioners to go toward initiatives that we would come up with or develop business cases for in 2017. That is a hefty amount, and I really commend the Board of Commissioners for showing the level of commitment that they have by putting in place such a strong investment in justice reinvestment. $7.4 million is quite significant. So the first round of initiatives were presented to the board at their meeting, and they approved everything that the Justice Coordinating Committee recommended to them. And so that used approximately $6 million worth, or $6.4 million worth of the money. And so we still have $1 million worth of initiatives that we can work up and present to the board for consideration at their next meeting. So lots more to come.
All righty. So now let's talk about some of the Fulton commissioners approved the funds for some of the following plans. Commissioners approved funds for the felony backlog to eliminate a backlog of over 200 felony cases that are over 365 days old. Also, the misdemeanor backlog, trying to address that by eliminating a backlog of over 29,000 unaccused misdemeanor files. The civil backlog, trying to eliminate a backlog of over 40,000 small claims and abandoned motor vehicle, which they call AMV cases. DUI court, trying to expand participation in the program, which is designed to reduce the jail population by treating, supervising, and rehabilitating DUI offenders. Magistrate Court, they need judicial support and continue to provide Superior and State Court judicial assistance to handle state and Superior Court matters. And again, in Magistrate Court, needing additional clerks, and they would address workload increases because of Magistrate Court clerk functions to address the significant workload increase as a result of the appointment as Magistrate Court clerk without adequate staffing as identified in the Carl Vinson Institute study. And you know what? Let's stop there for just a second. And Anna, let me ask you about that. Explain to everyone when we're talking about how they merged services. Tell everyone what we're talking about.
So almost all the studies that we've had of our court system recommend that we start consolidating some of our administrative functions. And so I think the Superior Court clerk, as well as the Chief Magistrate, have taken the first step to doing that. So they have consolidated the clerk function in both Superior Court as well as Magistrate Court, and they are down the path toward what a lot of recommendations have said that the court system should do.
Okay, so let's continue looking, since we're talking about Magistrate Court as well. I know that they were hoping for some digital recording to comply with Magistrate Court rules that require a verbatim record of proceedings in cases where defendants may enter a plea. Also in Magistrate Court, for the public defender, he would like to provide a public defender for abandoned minor child, copy of charges, and environmental calendars at the North, South, and Central annexes. And then the dually involved youth supports an existing grant-funded program involving early family intervention for children in need of supervision that also have delinquency proceedings. And funding for that would expedite data collection, analysis, and reporting to identify and evaluate effectiveness. And then, of course, we got to talk about the Partners Program. That would provide a case manager to promote measurable outcomes and manage the expected growth of the program, which is a judicially supervised accountability court for juveniles. And yes, judicial officer, that would support the Superior Court family division. So this is a lot, Anna, to get accomplished in just 1 year.
Absolutely. I do think it's a lot, but there are, again, as I described before, a lot of partners at the table, and they've all made the commitment to make sure that these funds are invested in the most impactful way. So yes, it's a lot of work to be done, but again, we do have the partners invested. They are at the table, and they are willing to pull the necessary resources together so we can be successful.
So Anna, what does this say about the positive step the county is taking in dealing with this issue?
Listen, I don't think the county could take any more significant action than it's taken with the Justice Reinvestment Initiative. Again, I think it will have a positive impact on our jail population in terms of reducing the numbers. I think that it will, depending on the initiative, it will help us address mental illness and hopefully divert inmates that have mental illnesses to the right places where they're getting the right quality of care. And I think overall, the efficiencies that you talked about with providing the magistrate clerk as well as the Superior Court clerk with the right level of resources, that's going to lead to better customer service within the system, as well as an overall improvement in inefficiencies within the system.
And Anna, we've heard all about some of these opportunities, but given all that you have to do, what about the challenges in getting some of these things accomplished? Are there any?
Well, whatever challenges there may be, I do think that we'll be able to overcome those, because what has happened is that our criminal justice system is also working very closely with our executive branch of our government, which includes the county manager. And what he has made clear was that anything that the justice system needs in order to achieve its goals, he is going to be willing to provide. So any resources or assistance or support that the justice system will need from our administrative services departments, such as purchasing, such as human resources, the finance department, and information technology, we're going to bring all of our resources to bear within the county to make sure that we're successful. So it's not just the justice partners. There's a huge level of commitment on the part of our board, as well as on the part of our county manager, to make this succeed.
Well, Anna Roach, you mentioned this is a part of a national conversation. Kudos to the county for all that it is doing. Anna Roach, Fulton's Chief Strategy Officer, thank you so much for your time.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Shaunya.
No problem. And when we come back, details on how commissioners plan on addressing juvenile crime. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. By a 6-1 vote, the Fulton County Board of Commissioners approved a juvenile crime prevention comprehensive plan providing a framework for addressing juvenile crime in our communities. Now, the move comes as the region continues to look for new solutions to disrupt a recent string of crimes involving suspects under the age of 18. FGTV's Douglas Bell is in our news center to break down the plan. Douglas?
Shaunya, the total package will have the county committing $2.5 million in funding to several different programs and initiatives. The initiative seeks to combine tougher juvenile crime enforcement with the pre-adjudicatory tracking of alleged juvenile offenders. The package includes approximately $1 million in funding for crime prevention programs specifically attempting to reach young people in Fulton County. These efforts would include additional partnerships with public schools in the city of Atlanta and Fulton County, as well as job programs in the county. The proposal would fund a multi-jurisdictional SLIDER task force managed by the Fulton County Police Department. This group will utilize an existing network of officers throughout the metro area and provide law enforcement with additional technology to help track suspected car thieves, also known as sliders. Officers will receive alerts in real time, including detailed offender information such as known associates and possible gang affiliations. The plan will also have the county committing the resources to fund the creation of a community custody and transitory mobility restriction unit. This unit, based in Fulton County Juvenile Court, would enhance the current initiatives to ensure additional monitoring and compliance for youth. So as you can see, this approach allocates funding to efforts as part of an overall comprehensive crime prevention plan. Reporting from the News Center, I'm Douglas Bell. Back to you, Shaunya.
Sounds like it does. Thank you so much, Douglas Bell. We will wrap things up, everybody, when we come back. Stay with us. Well, that does it for this edition of Talk Fulton. Special thanks to our guest and a special thanks to you for watching. We invite you to email us to let us know what topics you'd like to see addressed right here on Talk Fulton. Email us at fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. I'm Shaunya Chavis-Rucker. We'll see you next time.